Look at what I just did. I have added data pack based redstone into Minecraft. There are no funny command block business going on underneath this, no extra blocks or anything. All this is doing is checking for a specific armor stand with a specific score, which is determined by whether or not it's powered by redstone. And this works with all components. The only thing that I can't get working with this is quasi-connectivity, but essentially now we have a data pack, which is basically an engine or a library to let you create custom blocks that can interact with redstone. And the example I have here is just turning a coal ore into a redstone ore when it's powered, but I do actually have a more real-world use case set up. Let's go check it out. Alright, I'm on top of the bee house today because, man, I don't want to build another set. Building sets takes forever. I'll build something later, but for now, I want you guys to check out the new magic machines. What did I say? I said it would never be done, but this is technically not magic machines. This is a new concept data pack that I'm working on that I'm not sure if I will finish. It is called Tempest's Machines, and it is basically a combination of magic machines and the machines from the Tempest box. So the cool thing about these blocks is that they are one block now. They are not two blocks. And the reason they had to be two blocks before is because to get the redstone functionality, I needed a command block inside the machine, but I also needed a block that the player could break. But now, I can detect redstone without using a command block, and so I no longer have to have the command block inside, and it can just be the spawner. This also means that, as you can see by these textures here, it can be rotated. When you place a machine, it will automatically face towards you, and that means you can break blocks in any direction. And if you think that's cool, they still travel with observers, including moving vertically. But I think we can get even cooler. Check this out. Now, because these can be directional, we can control the way that they face using pistons. If you place a piston on top of the observer that is moving the machine, it will change the way that it faces. So for instance, this observer is pointing west and this piston is facing down. So the machine will move one block to the west and it will change its direction to face down. And you'll see when we power it again, it moves and changes direction again thanks to that piston. Now at the moment, I've only done the block breaker for this because it's going to be quite a bit of work to convert all of the magic machines into these new Tempest machines. And so what I want to hear from you guys is, do you like the change? Is this something that you want to see? Or do you prefer the original magic machines? The recipes will remain roughly the same. Now don't worry, I am a little smart one, and the data pack will automatically update your magic machines into Tempest machines if this change is made. But I want to know what you guys think about these one block machines. Should we keep them or should we get rid of them? Okay, so I may have told a little fib. I actually did finish Tempest machines, and I'm gonna talk about why exactly I did this in a moment. But for now, let's take a look at these changes and why it's different from magic machines. Don't worry, I haven't deleted or overwritten magic machines. It's still in my data packs folder, unchanged. This is an entirely new data pack, and all the resource pack changes are entirely reversible as well. I made sure of that. So first, I want to go over the primary changes. One, the machines are obviously one block tall now, and they're directional. They no longer solely interact with the block below them, but now interact with the block that they are facing towards. And I've revised a lot of the textures so that they have unique side and front textures. The main block that got an important change is the poison field. It now works more similarly to the Acronite cage from the Tempest box. Instead of creating a persistent cloud of poison, it will simply poison whatever's in front of it. And when the poison field is ascended, it no longer gives you the harming effect, but instead gives you the wither effect. Another change is that the energy tank and block deployer now take an input from the opposite end of wherever they're placing a block. So this energy tank is facing down, so it will be taking a hopper from the top. However, if I placed it over here, it would need to take a hopper from this side. So why did I finish this, and why is it its own separate data pack from Magic Machines? That is because I'm going to be releasing both data packs on my planet Minecraft. I'm going to release Magic Machines and Tempest Machines on their own, so you can install them into any Minecraft world and play around with them yourself. So if you download and playtest these data packs, I would love to hear your feedback, as well as your opinion on which one you would like to see stay in Chopping Block. So you know how I said I would build something later? Well, it's later, and I built something. What this is a small little sift factory that focuses more on looking cool and looking like a factory than it does being any sort of efficient. But that's the cool thing about Minecraft and Chopping Block, is you can build whatever you want. So I made this look like a little work site because I thought it would be really fun. So you have a cobblestone generator over here, and that's just constantly pushing blocks out into this breaker array, which is crushing the blocks down into gravel, which then gets sent up here into this machine that crushes the blocks down even more into sand. Then those get transported up through this pipe right here, and they end up in this sifting array. And why yes, I did rebalance this loot table, thank you for noticing. Off screen, I've been doing a bunch of tweaks to loot tables, not just to Magic Machines and Tempest Machines, but also to data packs like bee sources. And the reason I've rebalanced these loot tables is to make bees significantly less OP for one, but also to encourage players to build more than one type of farm. These loot chests, as you can see as well, are also a lot less cluttered than they were in previous versions of this data pack. So all in all, some pretty cool changes have been made, and it improves the Chopping Block gameplay experience by a non-zero amount. This also means that our ore infusion setup from earlier looks a little different, even though it works pretty much the same. By the way, if you play Chopping Block or have downloaded one of these data packs, I want to see what machines you make with them. Post your Magic Machine-based farms in my Discord server. I would love to see them. We have a channel specifically dedicated to bases in Chopping Block. Hey, Minecraft has a problem. At least a lot of people seem to think so. There seems to be a consensus amongst a certain section of the player base that Minecraft is not difficult enough, or that the mobs that you face should get more difficult as the game goes on. However, there is an issue with that philosophy, and it's something that I've posted about on Twitter before, and it's simply the fact that people tend to fall into a trap of thinking that everyone plays Minecraft the same way they do. It's a trap I've fallen into before, and it's a very easy one to fall into, because, I mean, you're the only one whose experience you have as reference. However, when you just blanket make every mob in the game more challenging after a certain point, then that poses several unnecessary challenges for different player groups. What about new players on multiplayer servers that have already been around for a while? They'll be facing high challenge mobs while having no gear. The only way to implement this well is to make every increase in challenge in the game be initiated by the player, and it needs to be specific to that player. And I believe I know a solution for that. I think the solution here is alchemy. And the reason for that is because you can get these tomes with pretty massive debuffs. And if you really want to increase the amount of challenge that you face, you can combine tome. And when you combine tomes, there are two possible outcomes. You either end up with a tome that's better than the two that were combined, or you end up with a tome with more of a debuff. And this is caused by a bug where the attribute values are being consistently inconsistent in how they are added together. And because this means you can get stronger or weaker tomes, it allows the player to have the option of nerfing themselves. And the game becomes significantly harder when you can't jump as far. The game is also significantly harder when your attacks do a lot less damage. And I feel like until I come up with a better solution for making the game more difficult, this is alright, if not acceptable. So I've made a few changes to my Custom Blocks data pack engine. And because of that, I now have 8 new blocks that I can add into Chopping Block. Now you might be thinking, oh, but Bex, these wax-cut copper double slabs, you can strip them and take away their wax, and then they're gonna oxidize and look different. Oh no. Yeah, no they're not. Check that out. F3, they are still waxed. Check that out. And no, this does not affect regular half slabs. It also doesn't affect full copper blocks. And so I have a question for the comments. Yes, another one, I'm sorry. If you could add 1 or 2 building blocks to Minecraft, what would they be? They can't be anything like a new wood type or a new wood block, as cool as that would be. So it has to be something that will be able to be mined with a pickaxe. And the reason I want to decide this soon is because the big update's almost out. By the end of this month, hopefully, but maybe even the end of next month, Chopping Block will be receiving its big update. It will contain tons of bug fixes, optimizations, and lots of cool stuff. This update will definitely bring alchemy, more content to expanding the end, and over 50 new blocks to build with, as well as a Backpack Shulkers data pack that lets you open your shulker box anywhere, wherever you're standing. You can take stuff out, you can move around, you can put stuff in. It's a super useful data pack, and I can't wait to put it in the hands of Chopping Block players. And if you have an old world that you were playing Chopping Block on, don't worry, it'll automatically get updated to the new version. That means you won't have to do anything on your part. Just load up the world and the data packs, and all the conversion of items will be taken care of for you. Now, there are a few discontinued items that you will just have laying around that won't do anything, and I kind of apologize for that. But I figure there's no harm in letting players keep old, discontinued, and non-functional items for the sake of collection. If the Psycraft server can have impossible items, I think my players can too. And on that note, that's the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to leave your suggestions down in the comments. If you liked, leave a like. If you hated, leave a dislike. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'm out. I'll see you next time. My name is Bex. Bye. Huh. I wonder what this is for.